Hi, my name is Christina. I work with single mothers that are looking for meaningful relationships, but they don't want to go through the heartache of ending up with Mr. Wrong again. I help these women to avoid the habits that attract the wrong men for them. Hey, Letitia, how are you? And I show them how to obtain the mindset necessary to attract and obtain the Mr. Right. You guys, I hope that I can see what you say. Letitia, say something. I think we got it resolved over there on the Periscope side. So hopefully I can. Oh, there it is. Hi. Great. We're back in business. So I can finally speak to you guys. That makes me happy because I'm telling you, that had me feeling some type of way. Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you. I know it's late, but I was really trying to get that resolved and everything. Thank you so much. I was like, I don't want to go on unless I can interact. So we had it taken care of. I feel great. All right, you guys, tonight's topic is I got someone who said her boyfriend isn't feeling it anymore, but he still wants them to work. She wants to know, how can she help him feel it again? Well, being honest, there's nothing she can do to make him feel the relationship. There are some things that are up to the person in question. Now, my theory suggests that he's not feeling it and he really doesn't want it. But the idea of her moving on bothers him. So he's maintaining his position so that she doesn't go away. Because a lot of times you have people, both men and women, they don't want you, but they don't want anybody else to want you either. And they most definitely don't want anybody else to have you. So they kind of hold that position hostage, and they know you still have feelings for them. So they doubt that you're ever going to go anywhere. And they think they just kind of have you there. And, and they try to make it seem like it's something you're doing, something you need to be changing. But the truth is them. A lot of people go through the stages where they break up mentally about 2 years before they go ahead and walk away. The truth is, pretty much the guy, he's done. He just doesn't want to fathom the idea of her being with anyone else. It's not her responsibility to make him feel it. If there was something where he was starting to feel distant because there was a lack of communication or something, now that's something that could be discussed. But the way this is playing out, no, that's not the case. I'm so sorry to break that kind of news like that. I know it's something that is sensitive because she wouldn't say that she wanted to help him if she wasn't interested in keeping the relationship. But sometimes you have to make a decision that's good for you and not hurt yourself while entertaining someone else's situation here. I understand she loves him and she wants it to work. Yeah. It's so true. The breakup begins way before it's verbally expressed. And a lot of people don't look at it that way, but it's the absolute truth. I knew in the cases where I broke up with people long before I ever said anything that mentally I wasn't there anymore. And that guy, he's really not there anymore, but he has this situation where he's being kind of possessive. He doesn't want to see her go to someone else, A lot of people, hey Angie, how are you? Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. A lot of people have that kind of possessiveness about them where they don't want them. Thank you for inviting your followers. I appreciate that. Thank you for the hearts and everything. I really appreciate all of it. They don't want them, but they don't want anybody else to have them. They don't want anybody else to feel that position. Good, I can see what you're saying. I'm so happy. I'm telling you, the past couple of days not being able to talk to you guys was so on my nerves. I'm so glad it's back up and running properly. That makes me happy. Yeah. Again, the question was, she says, her boyfriend says he isn't feeling the relationship anymore. Thank you for the super hearts. I appreciate it. But he still wants him to work, and she wanted to know how she could help him feel it again. And I know this advice sounds particularly grim, but the reality is it's not her responsibility to try to make him feel the relationship. That's up to him. You either feel it or you don't, sir. And you can't hold that over your partner's head that you don't feel the relationship. It's just facts. And, the likelihood is that he doesn't want her, but he can't fathom the idea of her moving on. And, most people mentally break up with their partner long before they ever verbally say so. And so they'll drag a dead situation out for months, sometimes even years, before they ever, okay, it's over, pack it up, move around. A lot of people get comfortable in convenience where, okay, we're together, we've built up a lot of stuff together, and they don't want to leave this material stuff behind. Forget that material stuff. You will, yes, absolutely. You'll be able to get it again. It'll come back. You don't have to fight for it like that, because even when you're not married, if you're in a long-term relationship and you guys separate, it's like a divorce anyway, because you've acquired things together and these things are going to have to split up and et cetera, et cetera. If there are kids involved, all of that still comes into play. And a lot of people don't want to go through that. They don't want to bust these things up. They don't want to have to make the kids feel any type of way. They don't want to have to separate the material items. And it's a lot that plays into it, the reason why they don't walk away. So my best advice for you, I hope you see this, is you can't help him feel the relationship. I understand you love him and you want it to work. Because like most women, you want your relationship to work. Women have a strong desire and urge to keep their family life together. So the idea of him leaving doesn't work well with you anyway. But you just have to keep this in mind. You're not responsible for making him feel the relationship. He either wants you or he doesn't. All this playing the piggy in the middle is not okay. It's not okay at all. It's up to him to feel the relationship. It's up to him to, it's up to him to be there and take his role in the relationship seriously. He can't decide that he's not feeling the relationship and then put the weight of that on you and make you feel like it's somehow your fault. It's not your fault. And it would be the same answer if it were the other way around. If you weren't feeling the relationship, I would say the same thing to you. You gotta go, because you're responsible for your contribution to the relationship. The other person can't pack you on their back. You're not luggage, a bag, a tote, or anything. You're your own person and you're responsible for your part in the relationship. And you can't sit there and torture somebody because you don't really want to dissolve things. Hey, Chandra, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Because you don't want to dissolve things. You don't want to split up property and all this stuff. Thank you for posting on Twitter. I appreciate that so much, and inviting viewers and all the hearts and everything. I appreciate you guys. So no, she's not responsible for making him feel the relationship. He's responsible for that. And the best thing for her to do is start mentally preparing for this. Hey, I'm actually late. I was going to come on a lot earlier, but I was trying to resolve the issue where I couldn't speak to people because my past 2 scopes, people were talking and interacting with me, but I couldn't see any of it. And so it was just kind of like I'm talking at the screen and nobody was able to get a message through to me. So I was working with the Periscope team to try to get everything back together. And fortunately, everything worked out in my favor and I can see you guys talking to me. And that makes my whole night because I don't know, I couldn't deal with that. It's like, I don't want to just talk at the people. I want to interact, the best way to, absolutely. Yay. The problem is solved. The best way to get a message across and keep your conversation flowing and keep your communication going is if both sides get to speak. Not if I'm just speaking. It's not okay. So I'm glad I can see the hearts and everything. because I couldn't even see who all came in the room. I couldn't see the hearts, and I couldn't see what anyone was saying to me. I was like, oh man, that's not gonna work. So I'm happy about it being resolved. And I'm glad that even though those mishaps were coming along, you guys were still able to, willing to come in, even though you couldn't speak to me. Thank you. That just shows me that you guys are supportive for real, and I really appreciate that with all of my heart. So again, you're not responsible for how your partner feels about the relationship. They're either feeling it or they're not, and it's not your fault if they're not. If it's a communication problem, this is something you guys need to address early on. But as far as him saying he's not feeling it anymore and he wants you to help him feel it, that's his responsibility, and just that's what that is. So the likelihood is that he's already done with the relationship mentally. He just hasn't physically decided to move around, and it's not your fault. These things happen. It's actually quite common, and most people, they take months to years before they actually let go, because thank you for coming in, Doc Onassis. I appreciate you. The idea of what all they stand to lose. Yes, that's true. Yeah. He doesn't like the idea of what all they're going to have to separate, Well, I bought that TV, so that's mine. Well, the bed is mine because I bought, and it's a problem. You're going to have to start dissolving all the property and stuff. And, if there's kids involved, hello, that's a whole nother issue all by itself. And so it's problematic. So a lot of people don't like what they stand to lose, so they'll stick around when they should have left a long time ago. It's like, it doesn't matter how long you wait for this stuff to happen. Eventually, you're going to have to face it anyway. So if you're not feeling the relationship, hello, how are you? If you're not feeling the relationship, you need to move around. It doesn't matter, because you can do it today or you can do it 2 years from now. Either way, the same thing is going to happen. You're going to have to divide the property. You're going to have to see what's going to happen with the kids. You're still going to go through it. So it's either now or later. And a lot of people prolong it. I don't know. They think maybe it's going to get better if it happens down the line. Maybe they can mentally prepare for it. But you can't mentally prepare for something as monumental as a separation. It just doesn't work that way. He's done, but he doesn't want to see her move on either. That's possessiveness. Well, I don't really want her, but I don't want to see anybody else with her either. That's mine, regardless to whether I'm there or not, it's mine. So he's holding on for no apparent reason because he doesn't want her to move on. And this is something that happens a lot, especially if there's children involved, because this was a couple of scopes ago where I said kids aren't a receipt of ownership, because a lot of people take it the wrong way. We have kids together, and therefore I own you in some form, and you can't move on, and just all these weird stipulations and double standards and craziness. So my best advice to you, ma'am, is to have that conversation with him. Like, look, that is not my responsibility to make you feel this relationship. You either do or you don't. Of course, I want it to work. And if you're willing for it to work, then you guys can work on it the way you see fit. Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you, well, go ahead, destroy your relationship. But what I am saying is, reality needs to set in. I'm not going to tell you, oh, it's going to be okay. Just hug him and love him and he's going to stay. I don't believe in that. I believe in telling things the way it really is. I'm not going to come in here sugarcoating it and telling you, oh, it's going to be okay. I don't foresee anything being okay. I only foresee this getting worse. Not only will it get worse, but he's going to be more and more trying to shift this problem over on you and make you feel like it's your fault, which turns into a form of emotional abuse, emotional and mental. It's just going to get worse. So there's your information. You can take it and apply it where you want to, and but that is the truth. I've experienced it. I know plenty of other people that have experienced it in both directions. This is just the likely outcome of the scenario. He's not feeling the relationship, and he probably hasn't been feeling it for a long time. Just more than likely, he's been done with this for months. And he just now brought this to your attention because he's thinking about leaving. But then again, he's held back by that idea of you moving on, and what about the property and all of this stuff. So he's holding on for the wrong reasons, though. He's not holding on because, oh, I love you, and this is just a communication problem, and we need to get our communication together. No, he's holding on because he doesn't want you to move on. He's holding on because he doesn't want to divvy up the property. Especially if most of the stuff belongs to you. If he was the guy that you moved in with you, and he didn't really have anything to contribute, and you kind of carried him, he understands that he really doesn't have anything to take with him. And that's even more motivation to stay put. Nobody wants to leave empty-handed. But I'm the type of person, and I always have been, where if it's all bad and we gotta separate, I'm willing to leave everything. Good day, goodbye, farewell. I'll drop it off. Like, here, you can have everything. I'm out of here. And that's what I'll do. But most people, they have a stronghold on their material possessions, and they're not willing to let it go like that, which I understand in its entirety. Nobody wants to work for something and then all of a sudden it's gone, or nobody wants to be living a certain type of lifestyle and then all of a sudden that lifestyle doesn't exist anymore. I understand. I completely understand. However, it's selfish. It's very selfish to hold on to something that's dead simply so you can hold on to some material possessions, or hover with regards to the children or whatever you have going on. It's really selfish. So he needs to think about what he has going on and admit to himself that he really doesn't want it, move around. And she needs to do that for herself too. She needs to understand, hey, this guy is harboring space in my life that's turning into this negative void, and it's not going to be good for my mental health later. So I need to go ahead and make a decision. Drop this and get myself together so that I can move on, or hold on to this, let it play out, and still have to mentally get myself back together so I can move on. This is going to be a horrible decision for the both of them, but the reality is this thing is dead, and it's just going to fester and bring more problems the longer they hold on to it. If you have some rotting meat or rotting fruits and vegetables, it's not going to reverse. It's just going to keep getting worse if you just keep holding on to it. So, we're just going to cut around and get the good parts out of it. There are no good parts. It's already starting to decompose. It's gone. Let it go. Set that free. A lot of people think they can salvage some stuff. There's some stuff that's not salvageable. Don't take yourself down that sloping road and then start feeling some type of way because there it is, right? You can't bring it back, Sorry to put it like this, but a lot of people want to be like God or Jesus and start resurrecting stuff. We ain't able. It's gone. It's gone. It's outside of our reach. And we got to accept that we don't have that power to just completely turn something around like that. If it's gone, it's gone, and you have to accept this. Because you're either, like I said, you're either going to have to deal with it right now, or you're going to deal with it later on down the road. But either way, you come into the same conclusion. You're going to deal with it. And it's going to be hurtful now. And if you don't do it now, it'll be hurtful later. So pick your poison. Do you want to get rid of it now and start the rehabilitation process now? Or do you want to hold it hostage and go through the same thing later, but let time eat up some more of your good years? And let's face facts, when you're all extra young and in your 20s and 30s and even 40s and stuff, those are good times to get somebody. But if you're still sitting with this stew head and you let all of that slide on by, then what? Then what? It's reality. You don't want to get to a position where you can't even enjoy a new partner because you let this person hold on to you so long. You deserve your freedom. You deserve happiness. So you have to pick yourself over him. You got to put yourself first. A lot of people don't put themselves first because I don't want to be the person who threw our relationship away, and they start finding more reasons to blame themselves. It's my fault. I threw the relationship away. If I'd have held on and worked on it, it'd be, no ma'am, no sir, no. You were just holding hostage for no reason, and it's not your fault for releasing it. There is a big difference in releasing it because it was terrible and just, oh well, bye, because I thought I saw something better, Because there are jerky reasons to release a relationship, but this is not one of them. This is something that's going to ultimately protect her. Let go so she doesn't have to endure any more pain. Sometimes it hurts more to hold on. Gotta let go if it's necessary. And in my honest opinion, in this particular case, that's what needs to happen. Both of them need to make that decision because, Chandra, both of them need to make that decision. Both of them should understand that this is a wrap. He should understand that he shouldn't be sitting around torturing this woman, trying to make him feel a way that he's not going to feel. And she shouldn't allow him to make her feel like she should be fixing something that she doesn't have the ability to fix. Bottom line, and you guys, I don't want you to ever allow yourself to end up in a predicament like that. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, sometimes, and just because you're not a good fit for each other, it doesn't mean you're not a good fit for someone else. You go through breakups. It's understandable. There's nothing wrong with that. If you didn't work with him, fine. There's somebody out there that's going to love every crusty piece of you, and they're going to feel blessed to have you in their life. And that's just a fact. So don't allow yourself to wither away with someone who doesn't appreciate you, doesn't want you. Yeah. We can't have copycatters and all that stuff. It's just no time. So, and if she wasn't trying to be a troll, I'm so sorry. But we don't have time tonight. Not today. Chandra, I had to, like Coach, block skills is on fleek, right? Just, wow. Bye. Block game strong in 2017. You don't have any sense. Yeah, but really, don't do that to yourself. Don't allow somebody to eat up your good years because you want to hold on to something that's already gone. You think you're doing the right thing for the kids. Yes. Pow. Yes, I got to go in. Kirkpatrick. It's just over, right? But really, you're like, well, I want my family to work. I want this. And I understand. But no, you're making it worse. Should your kids be subjected to you going through something that's not okay, that's going to imprint on them and they're going to feel like that's normal. And this is not normal. Hi, how are you? I appreciate you for coming in. Yeah, it's not normal and you shouldn't be dealing with it and it's not okay. So don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to them. Set each other free so that you can be free. I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. Yeah. It's just a fact. It's like, no, don't do it. Right? So take care of your heart and don't let anyone else come in and destroy that. just for the sake of having somebody. Yeah, so true. At the end of the day, you've got to be happy, you know. And if you're not, you're wasting time. You're wasting your time and theirs. And your kids if you have them. Don't do it. Set it free. Let it go. Release it like a dove. You know. I don't know if you guys saw that one video or not, but that pastor, he had that dove and he said he was going to release it, and he threw it too hard and that thing hit the ground. Like, yeah, yeah. They think it's normal, and then all of a sudden they start doing that in their relationships, and the pattern just continues all the way down the line. You know, the next generation and the generation after that is impacted because you wouldn't walk away. You gotta go. You gotta get up and move around because, like I said, it's not just about you. You need to be happy, but you also gotta make sure you're not imprinting craziness on your children. Yeah, yeah. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's like, oh no, no, no. You have to refuse to do that to them. You know, don't do it to yourself either. But make sure you don't expose your kids to any craziness because it imprints, and that's what happens. Yeah, yeah. That's the truth. You're not showing your kids a good example, and it's never okay. It's never okay because in the long run, you're hurting them and subsequent generations, and that's not what you want to do. So, with that, you guys, I ask that if you just came in, you check out the replay because I'm going to get out of here. I'm so glad you guys can respond and everything. I appreciate you all for coming in. Yes, and to my replay viewers, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys for coming in. To everybody who came in, hearted me up, shared me out, showed me love, I appreciate you all so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys and have a good night. Bye.